Hey guys, today it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic are your top 5 nostalgic book boyfriends. Now, this topic is very interesting because at this point I don't consider a lot of characters book boyfriends anymore, so a lot of them are nostalgic, but a few of these are more embarrassing than others, so this could also be called embarrassing book boyfriends. But I'm gonna be like 100% honest and open with you and talk about these. All of the ones that I will mention here are not ones that at this point I would consider book boyfriends anymore. There's a couple that are somehow nostalgic but that I still really love. Best example for that is Peter Brett. Like, whatever the fuck happens, I just love that guy. And I will never get over that. Like, forever, just love it, because he is a cinnamon roll. But these ones are really ones that at this point I would not consider book boyfriends anymore. And let's get into it. Number 5 is Augustus from The Fault in Our Stars. Now, he's definitely on number 5 because he's like the least boyfriendy. I just remember that I really liked him, but I think I liked him more as a character in general than me really considering him as like boyfriend material. But still, I wanted to have a full top 5 and he does kind of fit the category. He's the one that I felt least strong about, and he's the one where I really look back at it and I'm like, why? But that, I mean, it might have to do with the movie casting. Wasn't really very happy with the casting choice that was made for this character in the movie. I mean, he did fine, but like Augustus in my head was a better guy. On number 4, we have Warner from the Shadow Me trilogy. Now, he's someone I look back at with very fond memories. I'm not embarrassed of that book boyfriend at all, but he's just not someone that at this point I would still consider book boyfriend. A huge part of this is that I just don't consider anybody book boyfriend anymore anyway. Like, there's rarely ever any male characters where I'm like, oh my god, I want to be with this guy. But Warner, he's definitely someone that if I still were that way, he would probably still be one of my book boyfriends because I just really appreciated him, and I just really appreciated the romance in the Shadow Me trilogy. And the better the romance is, the more likely I was to consider that guy my book boyfriend as well. And because the Shadow Me trilogy romance is it's pretty good shit, you know, it kind of came naturally. But at this point, like, I still appreciate him as a character, but not a book boyfriend. But I look back at it very fondly. On number 3, I have Jamie Fraser from the Outlander series. I think Jamie is kind of the one that I feel most heartbroken over because he kind of fell flat as a book boyfriend simply because of the things that he does that have been pointed out to me over the years. When I originally read the series, I was just not aware of how questionable he is acting in lots of parts and how he can be abusive. I just didn't realize that when I was reading it originally. I just fell head first in love with that guy and considered this to be like this really great romance. And as I said, I was more likely to, you know, consider that guy a book boyfriend if the romance was great. Now that I know that the romance is not that great, I also don't find Jamie Fraser as a book boyfriend that great anymore. I do have to say he is definitely another one that I still consider like a character that I really like. I wouldn't say a favorite character, but he's still just a character that I can't quite let go of, even knowing that he is problematic. So not only do I have nostalgic book boyfriends memories, but I also just have like nostalgic character memories because Jamie was one of my favorite characters for a really long time and just kind of gone now. And yeah, that's why I do kind of feel very sad about him. He also must have been one of the first book boyfriends because I read Outlander in a time where I just wasn't reading much. And I'm pretty sure I read Outlander even before the other book that has a book boyfriend in it that I will mention later in this list. So obviously, you know, much nostalgia is attached to it, but I'm over it mostly. I mean, the TV show doesn't really help because, you know, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he? My number 2 is Jace from the Mortal Instruments. Another one I feel slightly heartbroken over just because, like, he's another one that was, like, one of my first book boyfriends. I just, like, shipped Clary and Jace so hard from the beginning. I hated Simon so much and I just wanted them to be happy. And once again, more likely to want to have this guy as a book boyfriend if I consider the romance to be good. Now, looking back at it, I don't think I would feel the same way if I were to reread the books now. And I guess the TV show is another one, same as with the casting with Augustus, that hasn't really helped because I'm still not okay with the casting for Jace. I've gotten used to it and I feel better about it now, but still, like, yeah. Now, you know, every time I think of Jace, I just have this face in my head, and it's not the face I want to think of. The face I want to think of is Jamie Campbell Bower, because he was Jace in my head even before he was casted for the movie. And I'm not sure. Like, honestly, if in my head my imagination was still able to imagine Jamie Campbell Bower as Jace, then probably he would still be my book boyfriend, because yeah. But I'm pretty sure that, you know, if I were to reread it now, I wouldn't be as happy with his actions, especially in the first few books. So yeah, very sure he's not a book boyfriend anymore. But another one that I think of pretty fondly, and it's like good nostalgia. And now we're coming to my number one. This is my number one because, first of all, he was the book boyfriend that I was so in love with. It's not okay, but he's also my number one because it's so embarrassing and so cringy, and I'm not happy about it. But I'm saying it. My number one is Edward Cullen. We'll let that sink in for a second. Twilight just came to me in a time where I really, really needed it, and I was so in love with Edward. It was not good, guys. It was not good, and I don't feel very good about it. But also, I still stand by, like, Team Edward. Like, Jacob is the more horrible guy, and you can fight me on that. You can fight me until I die. But, like, if I had to choose today, I would still 200% choose Team Edward. My favorite memory about this book boyfriend is when the movie was cast, because I was not fucking happy with Robert Pattinson. I was doing a fucking protest because I was like, Robert Pattinson is ugly. I was being mean to Robert Pattinson. I want to officially apologize. Until this day, I do believe that they could have made a little bit of a better choice with casting him in the movies. Edward is described as this guy that everybody finds super attractive, and I know that there's not one person that exists that everybody finds super attractive, but I do think that there are people who at that point were more universally attractive than Robert Pattinson. Now, I like Robert Pattinson a lot, and I think he has blossomed over the years, but I still don't think he was the best choice for Edward Cullen. So definitely the movies itself made me change my mind about Edward, and the casting was announced just a little bit after I read the first 3 books, I want to say. So that kind of went quickly, but it was there, and it was pretty hardcore for a little while. So yeah, I mean, now I said it, there's no going back. The whole internet knows. Anyway, these were my top 5 nostalgic book boyfriends. Let me know some of your nostalgic book boyfriends, girlfriends, partners, whatever. I would love to know some of your most embarrassing ones, or ones that you look back at with like really great memories. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!